You're green.
I am.
Hello, Jon. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I am doing very well, especially after seeing Wicked.
Oh, good.
Incredible film, and it's such a sumptuous visual vocabulary, too. Can you talk about creating the world of Oz? What were your guiding principles for that visually?
Well, you know, there's so much inspiration for Oz, not just the images that I have in my head, the yellow brick road and the colors and the rainbows and the things like that, but also the Denslow drawings, the original L. Frank Baum Denslow drawings are so great. When you start to dig into those, I mean, half the characters in Emerald City come from those drawings, and the animals, we tried to pull animals that have been mentioned in those books. I think in the books they mentioned that it was connected all by waterways, which gave us the idea for Shiz. Of course, working with Nathan Crowley, who's an amazing production designer. He's a troublemaker. He loves to build, and he really pushed me like, no, we're gonna build that water. I'm like, are you sure? Are they gonna let us? He's like, we're already starting. I'm like, oh God, they're gonna yell at me. And I love working with troublemakers, and we were like, this is it. This is Oz. Very few filmmakers get to go build Oz. Mm-hmm. And this is a moment where we have to show why cinema is still important and take audiences to the most spectacular epic proportions. And at this moment, this is an urgent story to tell of what it feels like to upend the story and question, what does a hero look like? What does the villain look like? So everyone was all in. And so we went after it like that, I guess.
I love that. It's fascinating to me how faithful this is to the first act of the musical, despite being the length of the whole play. So, what was your favorite kind of like addition or moment that you get to excavate or change subtly?
Well, there's micro adjustments across the board, because in order for one movie to feel satisfying and not just half a movie, we had to move backwards from what Defying Gravity would do. And Defying Gravity couldn't just be a closing number. It had to like tie up what we were rooting for this whole time. So in a weird way, the show, Galinda opens the show, and she's almost like the host of the night, and then she closes it at the end. And this one you don't get that, so we really had to focus this around Elphaba in a weird way. How do you go from we drop into a crime scene, we drop into not the narrator, we drop into the scene of the crime, and we're going to come back to this, and it's going to be about this person here. And so those kind of little things really helped. Seeing her childhood was really helpful. And then also the perspective shift by, in the stage show, you're sitting there and you're on the side of the audience because you've walked into this theater, and this green girl drops in and she's the joke. In this movie, Cynthia was like, I'm not the joke. And you're like, you're right. In a movie, the audience has to buy into the musical world. And so we're convincing the audience in those first 10 minutes, like, this is the way the world works. And then the normal green girl walks in and she's like, did I just walk into a freaking musical? And everyone sings. And the moment in A Wizard and I, everything quiets down and she starts to sing her little whispers. And you're like, oh my gosh, she can sing. And she can sing better than any of these people. Oh my God. And to me, those little differences make us root for her in a way that she reshifts the whole balance of the show to allow Defying Gravity to be the thing that we want.
Absolutely. Another, I guess it's a subtle shift, is we actually see Dorothy, whereas she's not behind a screen.
Yeah.
Can you talk about, obviously in Act 2, that'll be more important.
Yeah.
How might that deviate from the...
Well, I won't talk too much about what we show or don't show in movie 2, but in movie 1, it was important to let Dorothy be how you want her to be. I didn't want to step on your images of whatever version of Dorothy you wanted her to be. And so, but the presence is important because that plays a significant role in what will happen and how they intersect. So that was sort of how we played with it. But you'll have to see movie 2 to know how far we go.
And I cannot wait.
Yes.
And also to rewatch movie 1 16 times. So thank you so much.
That you have beautiful flowers and poppies.
Very very
poppies
subtle.
Are a big part of our
very subtle
our
homage.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
It's the wizard who should be afraid of me.